Commissioner Francis Suarez, thank you so much for being here. It's truly an honor having you.
An honor to be here.
Let's start by talking about your district, District 4.
Yeah.
Give us a description of your district. Sir.
You know, it's from 17th Avenue Southwest to 37th Avenue. It runs up against a very nice city, which is the city of Coral Gables, and then it runs west along 8th Street and Flagler all the way to 74th Avenue, the 826 approximately. It's a beautiful district, very stable, single-family residential neighborhood, very highly Hispanic area of the city of Miami, very stable, and you know, it's a district that has the same problems that many of the other areas of the city have, you know, infrastructure issues, sidewalks, streets, potholes, you know, occasional crime. You know, our residents want to maintain our taxes low. And you know, they just want good services from the city. They want to know that the police department will respond quickly, the fire department will be effective when they respond as first responders. And so I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful district, great team behind me in the city, and I have a wonderful family to support me.
Yeah, you are very young in politics, but you are taking some very strong positions when it comes to certain issues in the community. Yeah. Last town hall meeting, you said this is for the first time you've seen a town hall meeting packed with people when it comes to the issue regarding the Haitian community.
Absolutely.
How did you feel when you saw the so many supporters for Cindy Dorsainvil?
Well, you know, I think one of the people who spoke said it perfectly. She said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. And I think for me, that statement very much resonated with me. And spending time in the Haitian community of the city of Miami, which is one of the beautiful historic communities in our city, just reminds me that we have to pay attention to every sector of our city. And sometimes we don't do a good job of that. And sometimes our heads get too big and our ears get too small, rather than the other way around. So our ears should be big and our heads should be small. We should be humble and we should be good listeners, rather than the other way around. And I think sometimes when you see situations like what happened with Sandy, it's, you know, we're not really listening. And you know, you have somebody who's had a tremendous impact in our community. We have to make sure that, you know, and listen, we don't know what's going on, the full picture. And certainly, you know, the manager can take steps without, you know, offending the community. And I think that's the delicate balance that we're trying to get him to understand. And he didn't seem to be understanding it. And we were willing to do the ultimate thing, which is to say, well, we cannot hold all your employees accountable. We can hold you accountable. And we're ready to do that.
And you were not happy, at least by the process.
At all.
So you said that we should listen to the community, and you felt it wasn't the case.
No, I mean, I think the process is you have to understand who your boss is. And the boss are our residents. We're not the bosses. We are there to implement their will. And we did a few things just that day, listening to them, that were significant. One is we made the pools free for all young people. That's just something that it should be simple. If you're listening to the community, you should know you shouldn't be charging youths who are, in some cases, the ones that are perpetuating violence in our community with our public facilities, to be able to use our public facilities. Secondly, you know, the little Haiti Cultural Center that so many people in this community fought so hard and so long for. It should not be looked at as a revenue-generating asset. It should be looked at as a cultural facility that the community can and should be able to enjoy for free. And we've just lost sight. Sometimes when you stop listening, you lose sight of what's important. And I think that's why we sent a very strong message, and we were willing to take it all the way to the end. And I think leadership is about that. Leadership is about sometimes stepping up. And I think, and I hope, that's why I think the Haitian community who was there left with at least a sense that we care and that we're listening.
You felt it was a pattern of lack of communications between the commissioners and the city manager. Yeah. You mentioned the Flex Park. What happened there?
What happened in the Flex Park was we had voted to approve the boat show, which was a somewhat controversial thing because we were in a fight with Key Biscayne. And one of the reasons why we voted was because we had promised that we were going to roll up an AstroTurf so that the kids could use the turf for soccer and to activate a park, which is what a flex park means, within 31 days from the end of the boat show. And we were at the 60-day period. And not only had we not done it, but the manager hadn't communicated to us that we hadn't done it. So I had to hear from a member of the press, which is not how you as an elected official want to hear it. Mm-hmm. Not that there's anything wrong with hearing from the press, but you want to know from your administration what's going on before things explode, so that you can at least have an explanation, because the people will ultimately demand an explanation, as they did that day on behalf of Sandy when they came to support her.
Now I want to talk more about your pathway and in politics. Like I said, you are pretty young and you're doing so much. You don't have a lot of Haitians in your district. You have more Cubans in your district.
True.
You stood for that community. You said something pretty amazing. You said that it doesn't matter what community it is. When you stand for a community, you're standing for yourself. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that when you're helping others, you're helping yourself. You're enriching your own soul, and it goes to the principle of the voice of the people is the voice of God. I see God in everyone. And that's sort of my own religious and philosophical upbringing. I also was blessed to be the son of the mayor of Miami. And when he was mayor, my father took me to every single park, every nook and cranny of the city. And I played basketball in all the different parks and played sports in all the different parks of the city. So I became intimately familiar with every single part of the city. So to me, the city is one soul. And what I think is beautiful about the city of Miami is not only the current diversity that it has, but the way that it's growing in diversity. And I think that's what makes Miami special in the world. And there are some cities that are already diverse, but there are a few cities that are growing in diversity the way that we are. And that's something that's an asset. That's something that we need to embrace as a community. And the faster we do it and the better that we do it in our generation in particular, the more successful that I think we're going to be as a brand and as a city.
I want to talk about the remarkable gentleman in our community, your dad.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your dad?
Boy, I'm smiling because my dad he's not only a great father, and not only been a great father for me my whole life, he's a great mentor, he's a great example. He's still in public service, he's driven by public service. And he always sets the right tone for me of selflessness, of service, of appreciating all communities, of fighting for all communities, of listening, of being humble. And so I'm just very blessed. I feel very lucky. And I think part of the reason why I can lead in a successful way is, first and foremost, I try to live as much as I can a spiritual life. And then secondly, I have a great support system. People like my dad, people like my wife, my son, who inspires me every day as well, to just work harder to make this community special and to continue to have this community reach its potential, which I think we all want to see happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Commissioner Suarez. It was truly an honor having you on set.
No, it's the honor is mine. I love communicating. I love being able to be in touch with my residents in a variety of different ways, whether it be social media, whether it be through the press, whether it be through shows, whether it be in direct contact. We have to be accessible. Accessibility and transparency and integrity are very, very important components of being an effective public official. And I think the community feels well represented when they can access you, when you will be transparent. And you can't always do everything that they want, but you can listen to them and do the very best that you can to deal with their issues. And I think they're happy when you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.